Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In this video we are going to be making our back pattern. So the other video we made our basic bodice pattern, we made the front parts, while for this video we are going to be making the back part. So those are my tools that I'm going to be using for this particular video. I went ahead to mark the straight line like I did in the first video. If you haven't seen that video, please make sure you watch it. I'm going to drop the link to it at the end of this video so you can have access to it, and make sure you watch it so you understand this video better. So I went on to make my line, that's the starting point line, and I had to bring out my measurements, of course, and mark out my horizontal lines. So I went ahead to just mark out the chest line. Remember, we've gotten the chest line from front when we're drafting out our front pattern. We've gotten the chest line, so I went ahead and marked the chest line, the bust line, the waist line, and the hip line. So I did not bother marking out the under bust line because I don't need that for the basic pattern bodies. So I went ahead to just mark the lines and roll them out. I also went ahead to mark out my shoulder measurements on the pattern paper. I marked out my shoulder measurements up and down at my chest line, and then just ruled a straight line across each lines. I also went ahead to impute my bust measurement to my chest line. Actually, I imputed the bust measurement to my chest line and just marked that. And also went ahead to impute the other measurements, that's the bust measurements, the waist measurements, and the hip measurements. I went ahead to take in 3 inches from my neck width and 2 inches for the neck depth, that's for the back part, and I just went ahead to use my curve ruler to mark out that line. So I came down by half inches on the shoulder slant for the back side. For the front I came down by 1 inch, but for the back side I came down by half inches and went ahead to just mark that as well. Then I went ahead to get the midpoint of my shoulder to chest point line and just mark that, as you can see. And I also went in from that midpoint by half inches. So I went in by half inches and just use my straight ruler to connect the point from the shoulder point to that midpoint, and then use my armhole curve to connect from the chest measurement to that midpoint. To get my that measurement for the back, I went ahead to take 3 inches from the chest line down to the hip line. Remember, the chest line for the front basic block pattern, we started from the bust point down to the hip line, but for the chest for the back pattern, we are starting from the chest line to the hip line. Remember that our back does not have a bust, so I just went ahead to mark a straight line on those points I've marked. And I also went down from the waist to the hip by 3 inches like I did for the front pattern, and I went ahead to label my patterns so I don't mistook a line for another line. So I'm going in by half and quarter, that's 0.75 inches. I'll be going in by that and also going out by 0.75 inches. And I'm just going to go ahead and connect those points to each other. Now I'm just going to take in that measurement from my waist and add it to the sewing allowance so I don't fall short of sewing allowance when I'm sewing. And I just go ahead and add 2 inches sewing allowance to the rest of the measurement. Don't forget to hit the like button on this video. Just hit the like button, and if you haven't joined the family yet, go ahead and subscribe to the channel because you are going to be getting more sewing tutorials as time goes by. So I went ahead to just connect all the lines together, and basically I have my basic block for the back pattern. So remember, in our front pattern we took in the side that's 1 inches from that bust part, because our front length was 16 inches rather, while the back is 15 when I measured it, and the difference was 1. So it was that one that we took for our side dart. But in the case of our back measurement, we don't need a side dart. We don't need a side dart because there is no bust at the back. It's the bust that makes the front pattern and the back pattern not to be equal. That's the front length and the back length not to be equal. So now that we don't have a bust at the back, we don't need a side dart. Right, I'm just going to go ahead and cut out everything, which I'm already doing by the way, and cut out everything, and that's just it. A quick reminder, make sure you hit that like button. Also hit the subscribe button. It does not take anything. Make sure you join the family. That's a way of supporting this very small channel, and share to people that you know it is helpful for. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.